All right, we're going to take a look at some seventh chords in the key of C. If you're not familiar with the C major scale, feel free to check out my lesson 1 on my Tech Pro page. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at these 3 chords in the key of C. We're going to look at some sevenths. You want to hear it? Here it go. All right, so just to kind of identify what a 7th chord is, your 7th chord is based on the position of your 5th, okay? So if I was playing the key of C, let's take a look at this chord. We're going to look at the key of C. I have C, E, and G, all right? So based on the 5th, we can find our 7ths, and there are multiple 7ths, okay? So we're going to take a look at the 5th. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G is our 5th. Now, if I was to play just C and G, this will be called a perfect 5th. Now, when I add a 3rd back in there, this is called a C major chord. So we're going to take a look at the 7th. And how do I find the 7th? I'm glad you asked. So if we count down the scale to the 7th key, we have C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. All right. So if we take this 7th key in this scale and combine it with the C major scale, we have a C major 7. So we're going to hit all 4 of these together. We have C, E, G, and B. And this chord, I've used it several times based on like maybe filling in or even ending a song. Like I'll give you a quick demonstration on that. So if I'm playing in the key of C, and see that chord kind of gives closure in the melody that you're playing at the moment. All right. So again, C major 7th is going to be C, E, G, and B. B is the 7th key in the scale. So we're adding that to the major chord. All right, that's our first one we're taking a look at. Now, if I was to play C minor 7th, that one is going to be a little different because the C minor chord is obviously different from the C major chord. And it has a more, I wouldn't say a darker sound, but it has a more sharper sound to it. So we're going to add the C minor chord to this. And we have C, E flat, and G. And if I was to make this a C minor 7th, this one moves a little different because instead of the B, if we're working on the C minor scale, the 7th key in the C minor scale would be B flat. So we're going to play C, E flat, G, and B flat. And see, that one sounds pretty different from the C major 7th. So I'm going to play the C major 7th for you so you can kind of hear the comparison between the two. So here's C major 7th. And then I'm going to play the C minor 7th. All right, so huge difference. There's one more chord I want to show you. This is going to be called a C dominant 7th chord. So if we take this C, E, and G, and then with the dominant 7th, you're going to be going to a half step from the 7th. Like we have our 7th right here, which made that C major 7th. A C dominant 7th has a more dominant sound, and we're going to take this B back a half step to B flat. This chord is used for movement. I've seen it several times for myself. I use it when I want to go to the 4th in the key in the scale. So let me show you what I'm speaking about on that. All right, so what I just did, I just moved from the 1st chord in the scale to the 4th chord, and I use that dominant 7th to kind of give communication or transition, because sometimes you can play and see, you can hear that, you be like, okay, but you didn't know if you were listening to the musician, you didn't know if you were going there unless you were familiar with this particular song selection you're playing. But playing that dominant 7th kind of gives you an ear like, okay, something's about to happen, so let's play that again. And you can play it in different inversions as well, so I'm going to play this one in a deeper inversion. All right, so you can hear the difference in that one. So now I'll play the higher end version so you can kind of hear what I did originally. All right, so again, we took a look at the 7 chords in the key of C. We had C major 7th, C minor 7th, and C dominant 7th. I hope this video helps you out.